Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Optimism on the Rocks. I'm Derek.
And I'm Myria.
So today we're going to be talking about aliens, which is a super fun conversation. I love talking about aliens. I love talking about the universe and things like that. And just for a little peel behind the curtain, we've had our first major technical setback of the podcast. In that we actually already tried to film this video one time, and it did not work. So,
nope. Solid 10 seconds.
We're gonna try again, and hopefully, we can, keep the same.
I think it's gonna be all fresh at this point.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what we talked about.
I remember what I talked about.
Okay.
But that's because I've thought about these things before. I don't know.
I just shot whatever was happening in my head. So I don't know. I have a few notes this time, at least. But
do you want to talk about the drink?
So this cocktail is I don't remember the name of it from last week, but I will put that in the comments when I post the picture. But I got these really cute cups online, and you can kind of see that they're like shaped. They have little legs and a tail, so I thought they were super cute. And inside is Midori melon and Phantom Light vodka, which is my favorite vodka. Not product placement here, but you can't taste it. It is one of the best vodkas, and it's super cheap, which I love. And then lime mix and soda. This time I used watermelon soda because last time I used raspberry soda, and that is Derek's least favorite flavor.
In general, I don't like raspberry flavored things or raspberries in general, but that goes back to my weird food preferences, I guess.
I need to start a list.
Yeah. But I actually thought the drink tasted fine before, but
it worked out.
This one actually tastes better.
And then some glitter in it as well, so you can't see from here, but yeah. It's pretty delicious. I like it better with the watermelon.
Yeah, it tastes way better with the watermelon, I think.
And I like how it kind of glows. It's cute.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
But yeah, I guess we should
start talking.
We should start talking about aliens. But I think something we didn't do before that I think is a good place to start is set some ground rules.
Yeah.
Number one ground rule: what is an alien? And so I guess I would say an alien is anything that it does not originate from Earth. Is kind of what we're talking about.
Okay.
Do we at least agree on what aliens are?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
But I do want to say just one small note
Mm-hmm.
that it is possible that the things that we think are aliens outside of Earth actually do originate from Earth. Potentially. Is a possibility. It's a theory. It's a possible theory. But
I would think the other thing is way more likely in that, to me, it's way more likely that the things that are on Earth now are from outer space.
Yes. Okay. But I'm not going to talk. I'll leave the underwater ocean stuff for another podcast.
I just mean anything. Right?
I think everything is weird.
Yeah.
But like this fun word that I wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
But now I don't want to say it because I don't know. I don't want to butcher it. Extremophiles?
Extremophiles?
Is that right?
Okay.
That's
sure.
what you were talking about when we recorded this before.
Yeah.
So like that microorganisms can survive in extreme conditions.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think we were talking about. Let's not.
No.
Let's stop referring to it as things that we have already talked about.
A conversation that everyone else missed.
Exactly, that we definitely have already had and everyone heard. Perfect. So I think that it is likely that there is alien life in the universe. Mm-hmm. And just the main reason for that is the universe is extremely large. It is pretty arrogant to assume that we are the only planet that could possibly house life. But more importantly, I think it's just so, what we think, it really depends on what we consider life outside of the universe, right? Mm-hmm. What if we expect to find something that looks similar to a human or something like that? Maybe we don't. Maybe we never find something like that. Or maybe it doesn't even exist.
Green guys?
I mean, it could be little green guys, sure. But I was just more thinking, like, it's more likely that we find a being that lives in a way that that doesn't happen on Earth.
Yeah.
Like
what?
So if you look at things, and I think this is where we're coming from extremophiles.
Yeah.
When we went to the bottom, when we send things to the bottom of the ocean, we don't. If those things that live down there, or like it takes us thousands of dollars in extremely specialized equipment to get a human to the bottom of the ocean, which is less. I'm just trying to think, because I think like if you're in the very bottom of the Marianas Trench or the very top of Mount Everest, they're almost the same distance away from like sea level.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yeah.
But it takes us so much more specialized equipment to get to the bottom of the ocean. And we get down there, and there's things living down there. Like,
it's so cool.
It's so cool. But if you think about, if we want that, like, there's so much more pressure, and like how they get oxygen or how they get anything. Like, I think that there's things down there that, breathe a different gas. Like, there'd be, sulfur being emitted from like the core of the earth.
Yeah.
And that's what they live off, or that's what they feed on, or things like that.
Well, they said they found microorganisms in like acidic lakes.
Exactly.
Like, that's crazy.
And it makes a ton of sense for that to be the kind of life that we might find in the universe.
But I really want them to kind of look like us and be our friends.
I mean, it would be super cool if that was true. I just don't necessarily know if that's something that we'll find in our lifetime.
Alien friend.
I mean,
just a blue alien friend that like taught you technology and helped make you rich.
Okay. I mean, that's what we're going to use our aliens for. Please get me rich, alien.
I don't want to meet like a little shrimp that's radioactive from another world.
I don't care about don't tell me about your world. Let's find a way to make me money.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't tell me about your people or where you come from. Do you have any problems? I don't care. Let's work on technology.
Give me your technology. Also, when you were talking, I was thinking about, and I'm already going to forget about it, but an April Fool's prank.
Okay.
And making like a pickle drink or something, and not saying anything, and watching your face react to the drink.
So let me tell you what I think about pranks.
But April is so far away, I will forget for sure.
You say that now. But here's the thing. I won't forget. I'm going to remember that you said this.
Will you actually?
Probably.
Oh, I will forget.
And
then it'll be like 3 months later. It'll be July next year. I'll be like, oh, shoot. Next year, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm also really bad at pranking. The whole time I'll be like, did you try it? Try it? Did you try it? You'll see like pepper on top.
It's like, I wonder what happened to this one.
You'll smell the pickle.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was off topic, but
yeah. So yeah, I just think it's so much more likely that if all we're trying to do is find life in the universe, if we just define life as any kind of organism that can survive, 100%, I think that that exists in the universe.
That's so boring.
True, but I think it's the most likely situation that we would find ourselves in.
What do you think of the likeliness of an alien species that's way smarter than us hanging out? I mean, all those dumb humans.
I think it's possible. I think it's unlikely, and I'll tell you why I think it's unlikely. Yeah. So the main reason I think that it's unlikely that we're going to find other beings of, well, I guess we'll call it intelligence, if that's what we would, if we want to attribute ourselves that way. But I think it's way more, or I think it's unlikely that that exists. And the reason I think that is, if you look at the age of the universe, which is about 13.8 billion years, as far as science can tell us right now, that could potentially change, but I think that's where
a crazy amount of time. Hey,
it's an insane amount of time. What's even more crazy is, so in that 13.8 billion years, the ideas, or supposedly the Earth formed around 4 billion years ago. So from 4 billion to today, the Earth has effectively existed uninterrupted with no major cataclysmic events or anything like that. And the main reason for that is both our proximity to the sun, but as well as having Jupiter on the like in the middle of our solar system as well. So anything that would be potentially on the way to us would get affected by Jupiter's gravitational pull.
Right.
So that Jupiter effectively protects us from asteroids and protects us from other things hitting the Earth, which has allowed, greenhouse gases to develop, which gives us an atmosphere, which is how
the firmament? Just kidding. Continue.
The firmament. Yeah, we got it.
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
God did it. I'm sorry. I forgot about that part. My bad. Actually, yeah, the Earth is only 4,000 years old, and God did it. So let's assume that that's true.
Wasn't that a flat Earth thing, though? They
Yeah.
said there was like the firmament.
Yeah, so a lot of flat Earth stuff is rooted in, like, even if they don't know it, it's the idea of why would the government or why would anyone care if the Earth is flat or not?
Yeah.
But supposedly it is a lot of the flat Earth stuff comes from Christian theology, based on how the creation of Earth story in the Bible, all that stuff. So it's a reason that flat Earth theory exists, even if people who are espousing flat Earth don't necessarily know that that's where that comes from, or the original idea of it. But I think where I was going with that was, so the Earth has existed for 4 billion years. In the entire universe's age is about 13.8. So for any other organism to follow the same effective evolutionary chain as humans to get to the point that we're at, presumably would have to survive that would have to be a planet that exists in the habitable zone, whatever that ends up being, for around 4 billion years to get to just where we're at.
Yeah.
So if you think about how much longer it would take to have something that's exponentially smarter than we are, how long would that take? It's tough to say, because if you think about the evolution of humans to go from, effectively cave people to us, really has only taken a few 100,000 years from the time that we had what we would consider a conscious person.
Right.
So it took all of that time just to be here, now we have finally got to a point. So then to think that we as people could go out and find something in the universe that has kind of gone the same evolutionary path as us to get to a point where we could both communicate in the same band of history. I mean, that's tough.
What if they did it first, then they came here and helped us?
I mean, maybe.
And that's what kind of made us speed up a little bit from the caves.
It's possible.
That's what ancient aliens would say.
I love the ancient aliens guy. He's the best.
It's taller and taller.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what they said. It's the I forget what theory it is, but just saying I think it's the ancient astronaut theory that aliens essentially came here before. Is this working? Oh.
No, it's good.
Yeah. We have new microphones.
Yeah.
That's one thing you will see here. So now we have these funny little things here, and it's kind of strange to be wearing one. But
yeah, we had some complaints about the podcast being a little quiet, so we're hoping this can change that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, these microphones now are here for show. And spoiler alert, there were one of them was always for show.
And I think it was turned down to quiet.
Yeah.
So it's a work in progress. Thanks for bearing with us. But yeah, so we're saying the ancient aliens theory where basically aliens came here already and then helped us little monkey humans evolve with technology and grow. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I guess the question then would be like, why?
Well, maybe they wanted something. Maybe they just wanted to play around with us like little sea monkeys.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, maybe, you know, kind of the same as, we domesticated dogs and then the dogs all get together and are like, oh man, this is pretty sick. You know, and then they maybe change the evolutionary, well, I mean, definitely change the evolutionary course of, like, and a lot of animals, a lot of produce on the earth.
That's true.
But, I mean, I think that it's interesting that there's evidence that there was something before humans existed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I think there's theories that indicate that the pyramids weren't built by the Egyptians; they were already there.
Right. And it's weird that they line up with like the stars.
That's not weird at all.
How is it not weird?
Because that's the only thing that people would be looking at. Like,
I guess.
So if you
like total darkness,
why
that's
would they?
You're watching.
That's it's TV like that's the same reason that like, you know, in Asia they come out. You have the zodiac, right? Like, and then you have all your, you know, you take a look at it, it's like they base the constellations on all these things. And then if you look at what they do in ancient Greece, it's like then they start naming constellations and they name them after like Greek gods and stuff. But they're looking at the same set of stars.
So do they think that the stars are the gods, or they already know the Greek gods and then they named the stars after them? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like the constellations and things are named afterwards when we get more involved and more into astronomy and like.
So then maybe those were aliens that came down. And then they were like, oh, they must be from the stars. That's the place
that's where the aliens came from. Or that's where they came from.
And they were just aliens.
I mean, that would also then have to be like, and then they told us to write this down, and these are their names, and like.
Or maybe, yeah.
But then, okay, so we have, like, Orion is a constellation, which is related.
I just think of Men in Black because that cat with the little collar.
Yeah. The universe is on Orion's belt.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I love that.
I mean, Men in Black 1 is an incredible film.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's got action.
What was the second one? I feel like the third one was the women. Or was that fourth already?
No, that's the second one. Because the third one, they go back in time to like save Tommy Lee Jones is like younger self.
Yeah, I thought that was the second one for some reason.
I think that's the third one.
Okay, so then the female one. I didn't think that one was that funny.
Yeah, because I think the second one is with Laura Flynn Boyle is like the main villain.
Oh, I don't remember. I love that weird like sketchy guy who just like needed sugar.
Oh, that's Vincent D'Onofrio in a tour de force performance as Bugman, Edgar.
He played that so well. And like as the show goes on, you can see like his skin gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
He's just wearing this meat sack. So what do you think about that? Do you think that aliens could be here wearing human skin?
Oh, yeah, that took a turn. Probably not. I would say I don't think so.
It's possible though. Or maybe it's not human skin, but maybe it's like, you know, like in the movies where you have all the special effects makeup or something. Maybe they're here and they learned English and then they're just wearing a bunch of special effects ruling the world.
Why? Like, what would be the point of that, I wonder?
Maybe because they can't rule their own world, so they came down here. Like, imagine if there was another world and we knew about it and we're like, oh, those dumb little Martians or whatever they are. And they're like, that can't be cool in my planet. Why don't I go over there and rule them? They'll think I'm a god.
So then why, but then why dress in a human flesh suit? Why not just, like, rule over us as their,
yes, too many
as their, like, scaly selves? I mean, I don't know if you're like meaning to bring up like the reptilian like overlord conspiracy or whatever.
Yeah, the conspiracy of that.
Like, I don't know. To me, that's just so.
Those ones are so dumb because then, and I love a good conspiracy, but when you like slow it down and they're like, "Did you see how their eyes blinked into a reptilian slit?"
Yeah, it was like,
what are you talking about?
That is not happening. I don't know. I just think that there'd be. What would be the incentive? I guess. Like, I think that. I mean, other than to like hide themselves and like they want to live amongst the people.
Yeah, they don't want to scare people.
They don't want to scare people, but they want to control things and be cool on our planet.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to understand what their motivation is at that point. The why is the only thing that matters.
It's the what. What is possible? What could possibly happen?
And I like to think about what's reasonable to happen.
And then as soon as you ask, I'm like, too boring. I don't want to discuss the why.
I want to just.
I want to discuss all the strange things. That's why I loved Ancient Aliens. I watched that like religiously. I think there's like a ridiculous amount of seasons, at least 8.
Yeah,
there has to be.
I don't know. I always think it's interesting. Like so many times in shows like that, they're asking questions about a problem that we've already solved. That like we know why these things happen, and they're like, yeah, but what if it's this? It's like, yeah, but we know that it's not that.
That's why I loved it. Like,
but maybe it could be this other thing. It's like, yeah, but we already know that it's not.
But maybe they're wrong.
Yeah, science
maybe
is
those are the
wrong
secret
sometimes.
portals in the rocks. Those ones are so weird. There's so many strange ones, but
yeah, no, I think the idea that we're somehow being lorded over by some reptilian super race is such an interesting conspiracy because like there's no reason to think that other than like there's no reason that that's more plausible than just rich people's interests align together. Yeah. So they all kind of work together. Yeah, it's more boring.
And that's where I was coming from with the alien thing. Okay, like what if it's just like a superhuman species that's been living underground, like a reptilian.
Okay.
And then they come up and they're like, oh, they think we're aliens. Let's ride that out.
Yeah, I mean...
That's what we had to define, that an alien comes from another planet. It's not some other species.
I mean, we can talk about like... some other like random
we'll save that for the ocean podcast.
Sure. But yeah, no, I think I think it's such a far reaching idea to be like, oh yes, this other people have got here. Like, do you know how far away the next like reasonably inhabited universe is? Like, it's like millions of light years away.
But their technology would be so advanced. Things we can't even understand.
Okay, so they're the super advanced tech population.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or what's more likely then is that they don't care what we think at all.
Or they live for such a long time that they don't mind the trek. They're like, we live for thousands of years.
Okay. So then we had a group of them like came by like 10,000 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's erect some pyramids. They're pretty sick.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you know what? That was enough.
They played. They're gone.
Hopefully, what we were doing to those monkeys doesn't change anything. Then they come back like 10,000 years later, and like, oh no,
they really screwed this up.
Yeah, we did. Oh boy, let's go to Earth 2. That one's way better.
Could you imagine if there was an Earth 2?
Oh, man.
What would that even look like?
I mean, it'd probably look a lot like us, but, maybe everyone gets along.
That's a very optimistic. I was going to ask you. I was like, well, how do you think? Is it I can never say this word for some reason. It's just, when there's like a word you can't say.
Okay. What word are we talking? Apocalyptic?
Apocalyptic.
Okay.
For whatever reason, every time I try to say it wrong. I cannot. Apocalyptic.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Well, I was thinking more like, how little people get along here on Earth. We're all the same being, effectively.
What could you take out? Oh, sorry.
And then everyone already hates each other.
What could you take out of this Earth that would make that Earth that much better?
Borders.
That's a good answer.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you think about how,
Money.
like, money, but people have just artificially separate each other based on, like, what tribe you align to. And then
Or
we
where
just
you're
kept
born.
where you're born. And it's like, I mean, just look at that from a religious standpoint as well. Is like, okay, if you were born in Europe, you know, the Americas in general, at this point, you're a Christian. If you're born in the Middle East, you're probably going to grow up Muslim. If you're farther east, you might be Hindu, Buddhist, or something like that. You're just born into that, and you think it's correct,
Yeah.
right? And so you just get born into this tribal state of being. That you get born into this, like, we are opposed to these other people.
Yeah.
Why? We made up stories, and now we like are against each other. But then they break it down to nationalism. You know, we all have countries. I mean, the Olympics just happened. I don't think the Paris Games happened. I think the O word is not allowed to be used unless you pay for it.
Really?
I think that's true.
Oh. We'll just beat that out.
Yeah.
How many times can I say it and make you have to edit this?
Please don't. I'm barely getting by with Final Cut Pro as it is.
Do you know what happens when people cross the borders and try to live there?
Cross what borders?
Like when these borders that are on Earth and they cross the border and they live there?
They get deported.
Because they're
aliens.
I love how that just flow together.
Yeah.
I was looking up the definition of alien and I was like, no, the other kind.
Yeah.
I couldn't find
No,
the right one.
the real ones.
They're real aliens.
But yeah, so I just mean, you know, maybe, like, obviously there was reason for that in evolutionary history. Like, you're all competing for resources. So you build your own, like, tribe, and then you're like, we don't trust these other people because you don't know them, and they've probably come across reason to not trust other outsiders, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, and that just builds up over time. Whereas had everyone had ample resources at the time, maybe they evolve in a different way. Maybe evolve into a society that is more communist.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
It's funny you say that, and I don't know the facts, and maybe you already know about this, but there was a type of monkey. I thought this was really interesting, but I don't remember what the type of monkey was. But there was like a river that kind of split them, and then on one side, there were less resources, and there was an abundance of resources on the other side. And they just grew, they changed into two different kinds of monkeys, essentially. And these ones fought each other for the resources. This side made sure everyone had some, like, it's wild, and they became two different kinds of monkeys. I'll have to look up what they were called. Do you know that?
I mean,
Or heard
I
of that
don't, but it
before?
makes perfect sense.
So that's essentially kind of what.
But I mean, that's what evolution is, right?
Yeah.
Like, the idea that everyone is protective of what they have is an evolutionary thing. Like, that's instinctual for that reason. Because millions of years ago, or hundreds of thousands, or however long it took, it was very advantageous to be very protective of your own resources. But as people aren't generally, like, or humans aren't physically larger than other prey and stuff like that, it made more sense for them to work together to hunt and gather and all that stuff. So, like, from an evolutionary standpoint, it makes perfect sense that, you know, we develop nationalistic tendencies and things like that. But to think that we still need to do that, or it's important that we keep everyone separate, or, you know, that, oh, we shouldn't provide foreign aid to these other countries, we need to help our own country. It's like, the world exists. We're all one thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that we should help people out at home first, but at the end of the day, it's the same
people.
planet. Yeah.
We're all one species.
And if you think about, just how much we don't like each other,
Yeah.
to then expect aliens are, coming down and being like, yeah, we need to, chat with you guys. Like, I don't know, would they even care if they were driving by? It would be like us, going up to rival tribes of lions and just being like, oh, what do you think? And they're just like, rawr,
Sounds amazing. I'll just curl up in all of them.
Maybe we can't even communicate with them. Maybe this advanced super being comes here. They don't actually talk or anything. Maybe they're just telepathic. They just think things and they get together.
Could you imagine? That would be cool. That would be the best superpower.
Knowing what other people think?
Yes.
That sounds horrible.
I would love that.
I think you would like it for a bit.
I would love it.
And then you'd be like, oh no.
I think it would be so cool to do a Freaky Friday and just wake up in someone else's body and live their life and hear how their internal voice sounds or their inner voice. Don't you think that would be crazy?
It would be crazy.
Let's Freaky Friday. Is that how this works?
We have to do something. I think there has to be a ritual involved.
Cheers.
Freaky Friday.
But then we have to do.
We have to get. It's someone needs to get electrocuted immediately.
Is that how
I don't remember what happened.
Freaky Friday movies of the same style of movie.
Well, what big was he talked to Zoltar, the fortune telling machine. Yeah. And that was basically big as Freaky Friday. It's the same movie, right?
Lindsay Lohan and
that one's Freaky Friday and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
I think there was an earlier. I think they're redoing it too. And then the 13 going on 30 with Jennifer Garner. That's another Freaky Friday movie.
Was there a Zac Efron one or no?
Maybe.
I think there was a guy one too.
Well, big is Tom Hanks.
What's that guy's name? That Vince Vaughn. Is that the right one?
Vince Vaughn? Like the guy from Wedding Crashers?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. He had one, and it was a high school girl, and then Vince Vaughn is a serial killer. And then they traded places. So then the serial killer gets to be this high school girl and get away with murders, and then she's stuck in this Vince Vaughn's body. That's a good one.
I don't think I've ever heard of this movie.
No? Oh, that one was really funny. To see Vince Vaughn act like a teenage girl is pretty funny.
Huh.
I don't know
That's
how
an interesting concept, though.
Yeah. It was a little bit more switched than the regular stuff.
But yeah, so I think, getting...
Sorry,
coming back to aliens.
There.
But yeah, it would be interesting to think of what a super advanced being would even think about humans.
Yeah.
If, let's say all that was true. They came, planted the seeds of humanity, and then left. And are fine just coming back eventually. I don't know. And what would they think if that was true? And be like, oh, it looks like we changed the course of existence on this planet.
That's interesting.
Yeah, what if they're just what if it's a being in a different dimension?
Or what if we're so dirty they don't want our diseases? They're like, ooh, don't go to Earth. You'll catch something for sure.
Probably.
There's those little cesspool humans.
All sorts of viruses. It'd be a signs thing. Maybe they're just allergic to water.
Yeah.
They don't want to come here because it's it's all humid oxygen. And gross. Ugh.
They breathe air. Yeah. There's wind.
Oxygen just flying around. They don't even breathe sulfur there. It's weird.
Yeah, if they're afraid of water too, and water's everywhere.
Exactly. Which I think is the weirdest part about Signs, but as a movie.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're not too good in water either, and we live here, so,
That's true. We need air. That's why for the future episode, I want to talk about what's under in there in the ocean. What's going on?
Full Pacific Rim. There's kaijus living down there.
That would be so cool. Except for I don't like the water. It's another phobia I have. I do not like going on boats or bridges. I want to be perfectly on land.
I don't mind water so much, but I, obviously don't live near water. I think it would be terrifying to just be
under there,
out in open water for sure.
This, suit. If they gave you this suit that you could just go underwater and be perfectly fine. like, I know there's like scuba diving, but it's like a full suit that you can just like live under there for days if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't blow up or anything.
I mean, I think that exists. Like, we have
days?
underwater habitats for sure.
No, but like you're like a
Like
skin suit. Like a suit. Not a habitat.
What?
Not a submarine. Like a suit, you could just go down there and just be with the fish. Would you do it?
I mean, it'd be interesting.
I wouldn't want to do it.
I'd do it, sure.
It freaks me out so much.
That doesn't freak me out. What freaks me out is that there are things in the water that could definitely kill me.
You have a magic suit.
But there's also things on land that could definitely kill me, and I'm not too worried about that.
That's true. I think about having one of those magic suits and just like walking out into the forest.
A magic
Nothing could
suit?
get you. Just like being a werewolf.
What are we talking about now?
Just being safe from all the things. Or you could like float up into...
I think it'd be way cooler to fly around than like...
If nothing could happen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you go into space?
Sure. Why
There
not?
are like 10 years. You would do it?
Yeah, sure.
Really? Oh my god.
Like...
What if you're stuck up there with someone who's just like so annoying?
I mean, I feel like we're back on the
Oh yeah,
would
the
you rather. I don't know. Yeah.
That's true.
Well, I mean,
And the food would be awful.
yeah. I mean, the food.
I
there's
would
gonna
hate
be set drawbacks for sure.
Pretty much everything. What would be the pro on that?
I mean, you get to be a space pioneer. Like,
To do what?
I mean, scientific research, exploration. You get to terraform a new planet. You get to go do something. That'd be pretty cool.
I would only go if for sure I would get to meet an alien. A real one, like a real, not a little like jelly blob.
I mean,
Unless a jelly blob
within the
can
next
talk
10 years, the best we're gonna do is Mars. Like, absolute best. Like, we're not going farther than that as people. So you need to temper your expectations.
Maybe they'll meet like halfway-ish.
To Mars?
From another planet.
Okay, so they're just like, we got to Mars. Earth is too far, but we made it, guys. We got here. The aliens decided to meet with the Martian people, which is just our colony that we set up on Mars, and we're like, hey, you guys should go check out Earth. They're like, ooh, no, we're good, thanks.
What if they had some like weird plant foods? They were just like, I brought you our home food item.
Okay, so there's another question. What would be a more interesting kind of alien to meet? Like something that is, what if it is vegetative? It's more
like a
plant-like. Like what if the trees on another planet actually evolved to have a consciousness and could move around?
What show is that where like the little like tree branch thing? The Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Groot.
Groot. Like a Groot? That's what you're talking about?
What if we had Groot peoples?
Oh,
or what if...
so cute.
What if there was a civilization that was so advanced that AI has already taken over, they have a full Matrix population, and it's just we're getting the robots that have made it outside of their... Because it makes more sense for them to be able to live long enough and to survive in space. They don't need food.
Yeah.
They need fuel.
Yeah.
But maybe they get that from all the stars that are out there. They have solar power that's better than ours. What if the plant species gets here and be like, oh my god, you guys eat plants? This is horrible. It's just
I would feel pretty bad.
Yeah.
Then I would bite them. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Watch out, Groot. She's coming.
Imagine a big broccoli. Be like, nope, still don't like you.
Yeah. And they're like, don't worry about it. I'll grow more.
Have you seen The 100? Probably not.
No.
It's like a sci-fi series. It's super good.
Mm-hmm.
But all the episodes are it's essentially that these people moved from Earth because there was some type of, I don't know what, something crazy happened.
Yeah.
Something radioactive. And then these 100 people were up there, and then all the children who had never actually been on Earth, who committed crimes, which were just no crimes, they sent them down to Earth and just basically you'll die there. But then they figure out about all these different not species, like types of people that are still existing, or like things that happen with like radioactive, whatever. So the whole show's kind of like that. But then at the end, they're realizing that all these people that were like, there were some people who they said like could speak to God. So they would have like, they would hear the voices of God or things like that. And their blood was black or something like that. Towards the end, they realized that it was like an AI chip that they all had. So they would take this AI chip and put it into their brain. And the reason they were speaking to gods or previous gods was because they were all on this chip. And then you would get downloaded into this chip after and then move on to the next person, and your blood would like turn black and stuff. And then at the end, it was just like the AI was essentially running the entire thing. It's so crazy. Spoiler alert.
If you were thinking about watching 100, don't worry about it.
It's still so good. I would watch it again. That was one of my favorite shows. And at the end, they're like, well, you can all just come on to this like AI version of, I guess, heaven or whatever they say. Or you can live on Earth and just be free. It's like one of those like red pill, blue pill kind of things.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
So
it's
you're
interesting
saying like the
idea.
AI
Yeah. So
running the world.
maybe there's a place out there where technology has completely overtaken their world.
That's
It's
so
possible.
weird.
What if we meet that species? If it's even a species, would we call it a species? I don't maybe
know.
we wouldn't, but it's
So
an
creepy.
intelligence, right?
But what would they do? They would just like build, I guess they could do anything. They could like build robots to do actual physical labor
Yeah.
to fix themselves. Ooh, that's creepy.
Mm-hmm. So what if that's the alien that we meet?
You know what? I'm up for an adventure.
Okay, perfect.
Also, I know you hate that I do this, but Derek's watch today
Well,
is super cool because it's like moon themed. And I'm definitely taking a
true.
picture and posting it because you guys all have to see this. It's actually really cool. It was a cool watch until he showed me that it was the moon. Then it was even cooler. Derek loves compliments again, so please shout him out for how cool his watch is. I like your like
Great.
compliment smile too. It's just,
I don't know what to do. People are looking at me. I don't like it.
It is super cool though. So I'll share a picture.
No, I like it.
There's like a moon like texture on it.
Yeah, the bezel is it's textured to kind of resemble having craters and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the dial is painted in such a way that kind of reflects that as well. But
Yeah. It's super
that
cool.
is interesting to myself.
Do you think that there's aliens on the moon?
No.
On the backside of
No.
the moon? How, you don't know? You've never been there.
I think that we have enough information that would tell us if there was or not.
Have we been to the moon?
Yes. Is that what we're going to do? Oh my goodness.
I almost spit my drink out.
Don't tell me you don't think that we went to the moon.
I don't have enough data personally to know for sure. Did I turn it off?
No, I was just worried about touching it. That's all. No, I don't. I think that we did go to the moon.
Or did Steven Spielberg go to the moon?
I mean, I think if anyone was doing, I believe that they hired Stanley Kubrick to do the moon.
Oh, is
boots,
that what it was? I thought it was a Steven Spielberg thing because now, like in all the movies, they have like these little, like Easter eggs. Is that what you call them?
Yeah.
Like Easter eggs throughout there. How old is E.T. that movie?
It came out in the 80s.
That's wild.
But then Spielberg also did like Close Encounters of the Third Kind
Oh yeah.
before that. But like Kubrick
Drew
did 2001 Space Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
But
What's your favorite space movie?
I mean, that's a good question. Maybe Event Horizon?
I've never seen that one.
It came out in the 90s. It was like a movie with, I think Lawrence Fishburne's in it. But basically, there is a space crew. They find a spaceship that's been lost for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go try and figure out what went wrong. And this spaceship that they had a special, like, engine that was kind of allowed them to move faster, which was like was kind of like a dimension altering engine.
Yeah.
But it turns out that the dimension that they went to was not good, and it's like it ends up being like a horror movie, but you're not really sure what's going on for a long time. It's a really good movie.
Oh, okay.
But it's creepy. It's messed up.
Add that to my list.
basically, spoiler alert. Basically, they go to hell. Is the idea of the film?
What is it called?
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon.
Yeah, event.
Event.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the reason it's called Event Horizon is what's also known as like the outer limits of a black hole. Is the event horizon of a black hole.
Do you know that there's like a theory that the X-Files, the person who was working on it, like one of the directors or someone on it, actually worked for the CIA, and those were real like things they worked on?
Sure. There's also a theory that Matt Groening, who made The Simpsons, is a time traveler, which is equally likely.
I mean, he knows his stuff.
I mean, have you seen some of the things that they... Like, the only thing that makes me think it is if you go back and look at when... I think it was a long time ago where they predicted Donald Trump is going to run for president. Right?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of weird.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
More weird is the scene that they do it. Like, they have him, like, coming down this escalator, which is, like, a very prominent thing that happened in Donald Trump's, like, campaign. Yeah. And it was, like, it was so specific that you look at it and you go, man, that is weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw that. But they also didn't have an episode where he got shot. So...
Man, all I can say is his ear healed really fast, like so fast. And we all know about ears. We know about how fast ears heal, right? Not that fast.
They don't?
Well, not really.
Oh, I guess you look at like fighters, MMA fighters, the cauliflower ears.
Oh yeah.
Cuts and stuff.
But I'm not saying that's a conspiracy or anything. I'm not doing that. But yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, there's so many different kinds of theories about what aliens could be or like why we don't have contact with them.
Yeah.
But to me, it's more just like the odds that we find another being on the same, like at the same kind of level of evolution as us at the same time. Maybe there's another being that has already existed like billions of years ago that has long since been extinct. Like even on our own planet, there's, Inca, Mayan civilizations that were huge.
The Sumerians.
Just like these huge, but these huge ancient civilizations that did exist. We have evidence that they existed, and then they just disappear.
Yeah.
And we don't really know what happens to them. Like we can say like, oh, there's a decline in the population due to some sort of disease or something like that.
The aliens came and got
But it was probably just the aliens came and were just like, these are the people that we were helping out. Let's take them back home.
Yeah, we don't want these
and
people,
then it's just, the rest of these guys, I don't know what they're doing. They must have evolved separately. I
was going to say, too, you seen The Quiet Place?
I didn't watch it. But
you haven't seen it?
No.
That's like an alien-style movie, I guess, too, right? Like, you have to be super quiet, and then there's these, like, big, creepy alien things that'll scoop you up if they hear you.
Yeah, I believe that.
That's
creepy. I think there are
aliens in that. I don't want to meet those aliens. I don't like the cool ones that, like, just chill with you. Basically, humans that are a different color, blue.
So, you think that there's this super being that has built technology good enough to get from light years away, all the way to Earth, just to chill.
Yeah.
It's like,
they just want to have fun.
Man, these humans are pretty dope, man.
Yeah.
Pretty sick. Let's have some beers. Crush some brewskis.
Amazing. That's what I'm hoping for.
Just
if the aliens are listening, I make a really good green alien cocktail. And I have a couple cool glasses, so come hit me up.
Yeah, we're just gonna put that out into the universe. Just like we are open for first contact. Please let us know.
If you are nice, only. No mean aliens, thank you.
Yeah, the mean aliens, go talk to somebody else.
We can send you a list.
Yeah, all the mean aliens, go talk to like Andrew Tate or something. He'll love you.
Oh my god.
Man, we'll have like the alpha aliens will show up just like,
Can you imagine?
oh yeah.
Oh, it's so weird. It's also weird that like we have like the 2 arms, 2 legs, everything. And you just imagine like everyone pictures this alien and it has the 2 arms, 2 legs. Like maybe it has one like slimy snake leg.
Yeah, maybe we come up with like the slug aliens.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want to come here because of all the salt water. Like, oh, it's salty. Not doing that.
Maybe they could hang out near a lake. We've got some lakes.
Yeah.
It's not salty.
True.
I want all aliens to feel welcome.
I don't think you do want that. I think
The nice ones.
Only nice aliens, please.
It'd be cool if there was like a pink sparkly alien. I'm just imagining all the different kinds of aliens there could be.
Just like I want the party aliens.
Yeah. I want the fun aliens. Who could like teleport. They'd be like, this place isn't that fun. Let's go here now.
I mean, now that would be interesting. Aliens who figured out how to, they don't have to travel.
Yeah.
They can just go somewhere.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's a weird theory. I don't know if I probably told you this before, but probably no one on here. But the theory that like traveling, like teleporting essentially, was like this weird short story or something that I read. So basically say you show up and you're like, oh cool, teleportation is live and it's great and people have done it and they're so happy about it. And you show up there and they're like, yes, but what we're going to do is we're going to download your consciousness, create a new body somewhere else, and put that consciousness over there, and you're actually going to burn to death.
Yep.
And then the new one doesn't even know, but that's happening to you.
I mean, I think they
that freaks me out.
I think that's kind of what happens in Get Out as well.
Oh, really?
Like, have you seen Get Out?
Is that the one where there's like a weird... is it another family or something?
Yeah, so like this...
And they're just creepy and there's like someone underneath like dancing or so.
No, I think that is...
What is that?
That's Jordan Peele's other movie, Us,
He makes some weird
I think?
movies. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, Get Out is where they're like... they're using... These like old white people are putting their consciousness into like the black people.
Oh, creepy.
To like keep to survive longer.
Oh.
Like, so they're basically like
I don't think I've seen that
putting
one.
their consciousness into these other people that they're like capturing.
I've seen other movies like that though, which are super creepy. What about Nope? I remember Nope being really weird, but I actually don't remember.
So Nope, I mean, that one's
it?
just straight up alien.
Yeah.
There's this alien
They just
being...
don't look at it, right? They're like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Nope was okay. I wasn't like a huge fan of it. Like,
it was so strange.
Yeah, I didn't really understand like the motivation of...
Jordan Peele's a strange one, but I love it.
No, hey.
He's very funny.
He's making original movies. Which is...
No more Freaky Fridays.
Oh, man. Please stop making Freaky... I was wrong. If I was pro Freaky Friday earlier, I did not mean it. Please stop making that movie. Just please stop.
There's enough Freaky Fridays.
Like, we are not getting any more information out of Freaky Friday. There's no more meat left on that bone. Like, let's just try something different.
When we become famous and there are some movie execs out there that want to sign a deal with us to do Freaky Friday, we're available.
Sure.
We'll just trade lives for a day.
I mean, that would be weird, man.
That would be so fun. I'm Derek. I would have to talk a lot less.
Yes. I would have to talk significantly more.
Yeah. Whatever is in your head has to come out of your mouth.
Just like no filter, just straight out.
Could you do it?
No.
I don't think I could sit still and be like, not say what I Whatever's happening in my head. It's very hard. I think it'd be fun. I want to do a Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've never heard of anyone who wanted to do a Freaky Friday.
Wouldn't you want to live someone else's life? Like those wife swap, or what is that called? Like the wife... Is it called Wife Swap, the show?
Yeah, I think so.
Where they like trade lives with someone completely opposite, live their life, and then like change the rules on them.
I mean, I think it'd be interesting.
It'd
I don't
be so
necessarily
fun.
want to do it. I can't believe people signed up for that show at all.
I would sign up. I tried to convince one of my friends to let me do that, and she has 3 kids, and her life is chaos. And I was like, the more chaos, the better. It didn't happen. Turns out it is a lot of chaos.
Yeah, no,
I would crumble, I'm sure.
Just like Mariah's just like curled up in the corner, like, please, on Freaky Friday, may I learn my lesson?
No more Freaky Friday. Yeah, no. And that
Eventually, this episode will just be called the Freaky Friday episode.
I don't even know how we got onto Freaky Friday. There was something, and then
I believe the aliens were downloading our consciousness or something. Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't know. To get back to aliens, I mean, I think it's fun to think about. I just don't I think that recently there's been a lot of talk about, the UFOs and like what fighter pilots have seen or things like that. But I mean, at this point, like all that stuff could be declassified, right?
Some of it has been, hasn't it?
I think so, but even then, okay. So we found something that we didn't really know what it was. It's like maybe people aren't just looking for the right thing. Maybe we're not asking the right government for information. And obviously other governments wouldn't necessarily need to tell us what they're making.
We should ask ChatGPT. Summarize all the declassified things from the government about aliens, and where should we be looking next?
Yeah, where should we be looking for aliens?
Yeah. I like everything about aliens. I think the possibility is so exciting that there could be so many different types of species out there.
I mean, I think that there are, but again... And
I want them to come visit, and I want to be their friends.
And I will have to say that, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen in our lifetime. In fact, I think if it was going to happen in our lifetime, we would already know that they're coming.
Or they're already here.
I don't think so. But maybe. But probably not.
Maybe.
But maybe. Well, I don't think so.
Amazing. Well, thank you for getting this far with us. This is already episode... What are we at now? Is this 7? Lucky number 7.
Yeah, I think so.
Amazing. So if you have any feedback for us, leave it in the comments if you made it this far.
Follow us on Instagram. Yeah. We're now making posts on there.
Yeah.
And
some comments there too.
If you feel like sharing it with other people who don't know us, that would be cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that we've listened to all of our podcasts, there was one episode where we talked about getting to 20,000 subscribers. It's ambitious, but when we do, Derek will pop an egg. So...
On second thought, don't subscribe. Please stop. Don't listen to us ever.
Subscribe. I'll get the egg. A whole egg.
Please stop.
Gulp.
Why?
And chew it. Just imagine it.
What are you doing for 20K? That's the real question.
That wasn't even the thing.
Okay, well, we're going to find something that's equally horrible.
Would you want the egg like a little bit soft-boiled or hard?
Oh, fuck.
Subscribe. Just kidding.
Bye.
Bye. Which is worse?
I don't know. Like both sound fun.